Hi Aquarius, welcome to your reading. Okay, so let's see what's going on for you guys this last week of May, especially with Saturn moving into Aries. I know a lot of you guys have been feeling a certain kind of way, very interesting kind of way. You've probably been feeling the last year or so as a lone wolf, trying to navigate through life with the ups and downs. And 2025 for sure probably brought you the most drastic changes. It's going to bring changes for everybody, for the whole entire collective. But for Aquarius, it's going to impact you guys the most. And it's going to make you feel a little bit uncomfortable, right? So I'm saying that now because there's a huge planetary shift today that influences us, our feelings. But this is to tip you over into the next chapter or your journey of your life, because by 2026, you're going to have a different life. You're going to have different friends, different circle. You might even have different career or relationship. Universe, angel, spirit guides, what is the situation for this last week of May for Aquarius, please? So I'll keep talking. The Seven of Pentacles. But you'll notice that some of your friends you just don't resonate with, and these could be friends that you have for 20, 30 years. You're really starting to look at what's aligning with you. Now, I'm going to be blunt and honest because that's the type of reader I am. You can come here for rainbows and butterflies, or you can come here for some tough love. The tough love, I feel like, guys, always helps because it challenges you. And it helps promote your betterment and to help you persevere through the shit that you've been going through many ways, by saying to yourself, okay, I'm not crazy. I'm not the only one going through this. But moreover, let's get into it. Seven of Pentacles in Judgment and Three of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. You're making a judgment call on where to plant your seeds. Now, when I use my analogies, guys, you're discerning adults. Please apply them where they belong in your life. This could be in your relationship. Should you plant your seeds in this person's garden? Do you want to water their grass? Is it going to be greener here or over there? Or the time that you've invested with this individual, do you leave it behind and go somewhere else and plant a new future with someone else altogether? This is the same thing with a job. You've invested all your time and energy here. Is it time for a move, a career move or a job move? You've invested all your time and energy in this neighborhood. Is it time to go in this project, in this money situation? Whatever it is for you. You're making a decision, right? And you're trying to collaborate here either with a team or it's a third-party situation, and you're trying to make a final decision on what you're going to do with this person. Do they stay? Do they go? What's the deal? What's coming towards my Aquarius? Guys, here's the part where it's tough love. If you've behaved and you've been good, or you thought you've been doing good and you have not screwed over anybody, and be honest with yourselves. If you feel like you have not screwed over anybody, then you will do well. If you feel like you might have hurt a person or two in your past, it's not going to be pretty. Karma's coming like nobody's business. All right. And it's doing that so it can teach life lessons, because that's what Saturn is. I personally feel like Saturn's a bully, but, really they're a teacher because they help us grow from the lessons that, and the things that we've done. It's about opening our eyes and not being like deluded anymore and saying to yourselves, okay, yeah, I did do that. And sometimes I gotta let people tell me shit the way it is and just listen and, agree. Or not be like, oh my God, they're so fucking stupid. I can't. I'll just let them say whatever they think they're saying and pretend like they're smart, but they're really not smart. Can't do that anymore, Aquarius. But this is good because it's going to highlight these features for you. But here's the other thing. Everyone else's eyes is also going to open up, and they're the ones that are going to be like, oh my God, I was so stupid. But okay, let's continue. What's coming in towards my Aquarius, please? And this goes in relationships of all forms. And honestly, this is what's going to help you understand what needs to be shed and what doesn't. Who's worth it and who's not. By honestly being honest with them So they don't feel like they got a fake side of you. They got the real side of you. And that's what's going to bring you to those relationships that are everlasting. All right? Because you're a type of person that is very cerebral. You're fair. You're balanced. You're honest. But again, cerebral. So you're not the type to scream the I love yous, but you'll bring their favorite cup of coffee. That's your version of love. And I know you're saying to yourself, why can't they understand that? Because they can't understand that. So what's happening is there's a great shift where you might have your dial all the way at 10 and their dial might be all the way at like 2. You're both turning the dial to find and connect somewhere in the middle, right? They're going to be, a little bit more cerebral, and you're going to be a little bit more, in the world of heart space and understanding. So you're going to come to this place, and then when you find yourself here, you're going to realize, Aquarius, who works for you and who doesn't. Okay? Because you're going to start seeing that, growth is happening, evolution is happening. And if the people around you aren't growing and evolving as human beings, you're like, what am I doing? Why am I surrounding myself with that? Because here it is. Boom, 10 of Cups. What's coming towards you is a happy place, a happy environment. Moreover, these are people. 10 of Cups. 5 cups are yours. 5 cups are theirs. You're connecting where I told you about the dials, and now you're on the same frequency. You're on the same radio station listening to the same fucking song that you both love so much. It's very cool. This can be your coworkers. This can be somebody that you're in a relationship with. This could be something as innocuous as like, my little kid who's on a dance team and those are her people. This is flocks of a feather. Okay? Maybe some of you guys are also dealing with an Aries, because I see this person back here trying to lead or boss up. And then there's Libra back here too. And then another air sign. You got a lot of court cards back there. So you're definitely dealing with a lot of people, as I knew you would be, because this is the age of Aquarius. So everyone else is evolving around you, but in their own weird ways. So for you, you're trying to figure out where the hell you fit in all of this, because you were always unique. You were always different. You always blended. It's not you. It's really them. So it's like waiting for the dust to settle and see who belongs with you. Because they're finally getting it. They're finally waking up. You get what I'm saying? This is where I was trying to get to. What's coming towards my... what's a surprise that's coming towards Aquarius, please? Seven of Swords. Somebody is ghosting. Or somebody is... Can I have one more? Someone is definitely ghosting, or you're doing something in the shadows, like an affair. This is cheating, lying, stealing, or this is strategizing. And when we strategize, we do it on the DL without telling anybody our plans. Or this is like, an Irish exit. Let me have one more. I don't know if you're doing it or the other person. Yeah. Big fight happens. Big explosion. This is a big deal. You don't see this coming, because you go from this happy place or this happy environment to this place. And I don't know if this is 2 different situations or 2 different people. Like I said, guys, I'm just a reader. You apply to your lives. But this is a fight. This is a breakup. This is a job loss. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a job loss, but this is upending. This is rocking your world. And this is changing your world because of this event. Whether it's that big fight or that big conversation, or this is the catalyst, all right, the Tower. And the Tower, when it comes into a reading, guys, that means because it was festering under the surface and it was ready to explode like a volcano anyway. So nobody was taking care of it. So the universe is like, you know what? Let me just throw this and ignite this, because this needs to get taken care of. So this happens, and then this happens. You eventually end up cutting your losses. You're like, you know what? I need to make a sacrifice, and snip, snip, because this is, a dead leaf over here, and it's going to kill the rest of my plant. I don't need that in my life. I don't need that toxic shit. Yeah, we were friends. Yeah, we were cool. Yeah, it was a great relationship. It was a great job, but maybe not anymore. Onward and upward, right, Aquarius? What's the advice? Can't wait to clarify this. This is a huge pivotal week for everybody. Apparently. I had a feeling last week of May was going to bring forward all the big changes that was going on throughout the month. Okay, you have to review your options. This is your advice, guys. First of all, you need to collaborate here with a team or a person, third person. And then by doing so, you're going to review your options and try to make the best decision of what's available to you. What is the outcome of the week for Aquarius, please? Interesting. So somebody comes back to say, job well done, Aquarius, or somebody you were seeing or dealing with comes back and says something to you, and that gives you an ego boost because you're like, I thought so, I knew it. This happens after a secret gets revealed or the truth comes out. Something along those lines. If that's not actually happening, that's kind of what you're thinking. You're thinking like, what if I reveal this secret? What if I tell the truth? What if I, this happens? Will it give me success? Let's see, let's clarify. What if I spoke the truth? Would it give me success? But we're talking about things of the ego, okay? So when we clarify, this will be interesting to see what it's talking about. You might already know what it's talking about. 7 of Pentacles and Judgment. 5 of Cups. There's regret, there's loss, there's guilt, there's all of those feelings, but you have other things that you can work with, Aquarius. You have other friends, you have another support system, you have another job lined up, you have something, right? But I think you need to see it in front of you. I don't think you are, because it's unrequited. You're like, that's nothing. I'm not into that. I'm not even interested in that. What's that got to do with me? So because of these feelings, you're trying to make a final decision whether it's worth investing in anymore. Whether it's your job or a relationship. What is the 10 of Cups? Please clarify. You're charging ahead with Chariot, which is Cancer energy. You are cutting your losses. You are just moving forward, but you are hurting too with the 3 of Swords. So here's the 5 of Swords. It's like something you didn't want to do. Something hurt you, but you're like moving on from it, or you're trying to. What is the Tower and the 7 of Swords? The Hermit and the Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. I don't know. Some of you guys, Aquarius, you might get this new job offer or this new passion project. I'm going to speak in both avenues, career, work, and love. Some of you guys are just going to get this job offer or this new passion project or this new thing, right? And you're just like, you're going to work and you be like, you know what? I had enough here. Fuck you. Goodbye. And then you just leave and you go to the new thing. Others of you, that's a passionate new beginning. So that's meeting somebody new and having, passionate new situation. But I think you're trying to lie low and strategize and be quiet and learn as much as you possibly can. But something here definitely rocked your world. And because it rocked your world and it changed the dynamics of your current situation, you're kind of in this mode where like, fuck that, I'm leaving. Or you're being quiet and you're trying to observe something here. 7 of Cups. You're definitely strategizing something. An exit plan, I don't know. Yeah, you're definitely on the low, networking and doing other things, maybe even third-party situation. What is the Seven of Cups, please? The Devil. You need to be careful that you're not repeating patterns or you're dealing with something that's toxic. You got to nip it in the bud. All right, because there is something toxic in your environment, in your world, and you do need to review your options, what's best for you. It is time to look at your future and what's going to bring you the stability that you want. Because I see, even if you are in a third-party situation, you still are lacking the stability. You're going to end up weighing your pros and cons if you guys have a lover here. I think you're going to end up like leaving and working on yourselves eventually. Those of you where this is work-related, you really need to review your options. There's some toxic shit going around in your own environment. What is the outcome over here, please? Six of Pentacles. Interesting. Six of Cups. This is something about the past coming to, I don't want to say haunt you in your present, or a decision that you made in the past. Five of Wands, like something about arguing and fighting or blocks and the obstacles and issues. It wasn't giving. It wasn't like there was Six of Pentacles. There was like breadcrumbs in the relationship, or it wasn't like enough of money at work. You were happy at some points in your past, but looks like you're not getting the success from it now. But you're feeling like you could if you reveal something. Others of you, if this is love related, again, it's the same thing. There was breadcrumbs in the relationship. There was some sort of happiness in the past with the individual. You weren't giving each other much, maybe because you were lovers or something. And you had your blocks and obstacles, like you couldn't be together. But now you're wondering maybe if you should reveal this, and it'll give you the success that you need, or, maybe not reveal it, the other way around. I do see you mentally disengaging, though, eventually. Yeah. You're going to eventually get to a place, Aquarius, where all these questions and all of these issues are leading you to a situation where you're going to question certain things, people, individuals, and aspects of your life. And you're going to start asking yourself, what the hell is going to make me happy? And how can I start taking steps towards that direction? But right now you are fielding some things that are happening to you at this moment in time. What's going on with love here for Aquarius, please? Please comment down below if this resonates with you and or what's going on, because this looks, I don't know, I feel like I want to give you a hug. Romantic feelings. Those of you could have met somebody new. Maybe it was unrequited. Maybe I don't know what. But, you do have feelings for each other is basically what it's saying. They're not imaginary. In the world of advice, your feelings are real and worth exploring. I don't know if you're thinking you shouldn't. For those who are here for love, that is. Advice for anything else for Aquarius. Ooh, Jesus. This is when the cards are like, no, put me back in. There we go. Believe in the impossible. Were you doubting yourselves, guys? Believe in the impossible. Were you doubting yourselves on something? Let's check out and see what it's talking about. As the saying goes, something happens only once in a blue moon. In other words, hardly ever. Drawing this card suggests that you're about to get a rare chance and that some one-off situation could well be about to happen. This card is a very positive sign. If you felt like you're hoping for too much or asking for too much from the universe, whatever you're asking about, well, it might actually happen. Only once, though, in a blue moon, but it can happen. However, with the rare opportunity before you, it's important that you believe in it. If you convince yourself that whatever you're asking about can never go in your favor, then guess what? That's what's going to happen. It won't go in your favor. Be grateful for this card, which is a reminder to believe in your dreams. I love that. All right, guys, that's what I have for you this week. Please leave me your comments down below, and I'll see you on the next one.